Hello, Cosmic Family, and welcome. It's so good to be here with you today. And I asked the Pleiadian Seven, what is going on in the world, and what should we expect from May? What kind of energy should we be expecting, and what's going on? How can we set ourselves up for a fantastic rest of the year? Because it feels like the world is falling apart. And what they shared with me is that the world is falling apart. The world as we've known it, it's in a way the end of the world, because in order for us to shift into the new earth vibration and the new earth timeline, the old must end. And in many ways, this is what's happening. And part of this energy is chaos. And so they said that this energy of chaos will magnify, but that doesn't mean that you have to be in chaos. And that doesn't mean that chaos is always bad. Chaos is part of the process. And they use the example of how part of being a mother, now being a mother of an infant and a toddler, is very much embracing the chaotic energy, and the role of the mother is in a way creating some kind of order that also helps the children. So in many ways they said this is what planet Earth is going through, and universally speaking this is what Source is offering to humans, is those who are paying attention and those who are awakening will understand this divine order that's going to come out and is coming out of this chaos. And one of the other things that they shared with me is that May is, as far as the whole year is concerned, is a time of resetting. So if, let's say, we did start out the new year a little bit rough, or if there's anything new that we want to refine, redefine, and reset, now is the time to do it. Now, universally speaking, they said, because we're going to experience more chaos, planet Earth herself is going to be responding, and energetically speaking, especially in the northern hemisphere, there will be more physical events like floods and earthquakes and fires. Especially they said to expect more fires. But again, because we are going through a rebirth, and the earth is in this process of ascending at an even faster pace than before, we're going to, vibrationally speaking, be feeling a lot of this sped up energy. But in that, we will also be more supported in order to bring about shifts and changes, and also our own ascension. Now, one of the things that is very important, that is not just something that the galactic family that supports us shares with us, this importance of being in nature, because this is what grounds us to that earth energy. And the Pleiadians always remind me to work with the earth energy, because they say as a starseeds have the tendency to be in the clouds a little bit more. And so they tend to forego self-care. They tend to forego being grounded in themselves, and being sort of in the clouds is good because we get to access more of this divine energy. But at the same time, it is important to channel this energy, since we're all natural channelers, into more practical actions here on earth. And these actions translates to taking care of ourselves physically, because that's very important, especially as energy speeds up, especially as there is more chaos surrounding us. But also being in tune, more in tune to our vibration, our emotions, so that we can utilize our natural and well worked intuition. And what I mean by this is that when our intuition is clear, then we're able to not just harness this divine energy that we tend to have a sort of natural tendency to do so well, to sort of harness this energy, but also transmit it in a much more clear way, and not just siphon it off and release it off without really directing it. This is a really big, important thing to remember as we move into the months of May, June, July, and August, and we approach the Lion's Gate. And so I know personally, I sometimes have a tendency to do that, where I know that I'm accessing a lot of this pure divine energy, and it's really wonderful, but sometimes it can be directionless. So now is the time to really focus and center, especially as the chaotic energy on planet Earth magnifies, and especially as the forces that want to control us will try to exert more force and power over us. It is especially more important to remain grounded, refine our intuition, tap into that intuition, and utilize that divine intelligence to direct our energy towards very specific things that we want into this physical reality. And it doesn't have to necessarily be something like, it could be something practical. For example, if you are wanting to bring forth something physical into this reality, but it could also be directed towards a greater spiritual energy, meaning you can use this to work through anything that you might have wanted to work through, whether it is past traumas or whether it is getting more clarity about a specific situation in your life, or moving towards this process of ascension with more clarity and grace. So some of the ways in which we can find this grounding, and some of the ways we can clarify our intuition more, is of course taking time to be in the quiet and alone. Because there's a lot of pressure in the world that we're in now to make us feel that there's something wrong with being alone. You hear this term a lot, especially recently. And you got to be aware when these alphabet agencies pick up these terms, because I don't know who was the WHO or WEF, one of these, who said, loneliness is, or maybe it was the CDC, is the great epidemic. And sure, this was by design to divide and conquer and separate people. But at the same time, as more people are waking up, that aloneness is important, just as tribe and family are very important. It is also very important to really harness this time when you're alone, because it is a great time to tap into yourself, to tap into your inner resources, to tap into divine guidance, and to tap into your own voice, your own channeling capabilities, because Source is always communicating with us. And when we master this time of aloneness, we also tend to master the ability to translate what's coming through. This is an important aspect of intuition, being able to translate the information that's coming through, not just picking up this energy. As I mentioned, people who are highly sensitive tend to pick up a lot of energies, but sometimes we get stuck in translating it. What does it mean for us? Processing this energy through. And that time that we have alone, if we really become masters of it, then it really helps us to become master channelers and translators of the messages being sent by Source. So that is the core of the messages that came through. And I will also share actual channelings with you coming up. So stay tuned and be blessed. And it's so great to connect with you again, Cosmic Family. Enjoy this incredible energy that's pouring forth, even though at times it might feel so overwhelming. Thank you, and I look forward to connecting with you again very soon.